Brother lads, welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your Arsenal preview versus Brentford. Brentford is our first game of the year 2025. Obviously, you know what happened in 2024. Arsenal scored the most number of goals in 2024 as a calendar year in the Premier League. We conceded the least number of goals as well, and we collected the most points. So if there was a trophy for a calendar year, Arsenal would have been the champions of 2024, or let's say we are the champions, we are the reigning champions of 2024. But if you remember what happened in 2024, Arsenal started off that year with a vigorous run. We went 18 games, losing one and drawing one. That was that draw against Manchester City, 0-0, and the 2-0 loss that we suffered at Aston Villa. It was 18 games, and Arsenal managed to win 16 out of them. Now, 2025 obviously is going to be a very different year. We don't know what to expect. You don't have Saka already. The January transfer window last year, we were not that active. I think we brought in no one or one player. I think it was like one player or no one. I think we signed, like, was it Austin Trusty in January, or that was the other January transfer window? So it's different. I think this January, Arsenal are going to need to be very active. Arsenal are going to need to be very, very strong. And 2025 doesn't look like it's going to be an easy year. I mean, the title alone has Chelsea on it, has Manchester City on it, and has Liverpool. Now, someone can tell me Manchester City are no longer in the title race, but if you're saying that Arsenal are just 8 points above Manchester City and Arsenal are still in the title race, then Manchester City are definitely 100% still in the title race. So we take on Brentford in the first game of the year. Brentford, of course, is a team we've not played at all this campaign, and they've had mixed results. They've had mixed performances. I don't think they're the Brentford that we saw 2 years ago. I think this is a Brentford without Ivan Toney. This is a Brentford that has an old squad, a squad that has not been refreshed very well. I don't think their squad has been refreshed the way Bournemouth have refreshed their squad. I don't think their squad has been refreshed the way Brighton have refreshed their squad. I think at some point in time, maybe this summer or next summer, we will see Brentford going to the market and investing like in around 6-7 players just to give Thomas Frank a few options to work with. But why do we care? Now, if you're an Arsenal fan, this game is important, really important, because Chelsea dropped points, vital points at Ipswich. 2-0 it was yesterday, and that means if Arsenal win this game, there's a massive chance that we will go 4 points clear of Chelsea in second, and of course we'll have to go above Nottingham Forest, who are 37 points second in the table. I don't know how they've done it, but Forest are really, really good this campaign. In this preview, I think our focus should be, how should Arsenal line up? I think our biggest problem this season has been, getting a proper lineup out there. And be it injuries, be it Mikel Arteta trying to rotate players, which is not bad, by the way. For a manager that has suffered a lot of injuries, you can't blame him for rotating. Be it Mikel getting it wrong in terms of lineup selection, that has happened a couple of times. I don't remember the last time I would say we had the best lineup out there. Maybe it was against Manchester City before Leandro Trossard got that red card, because was that the best lineup like we've put out, or before that, the Brighton game? Because again, Brighton, although Declan Rice gets a red card, it looks like most of our players were there. So what we have to do in 2025, to begin with, 2025, can we start getting our lineup correct? Can we put our best 11 out there? Calafiori is back. Can we use him? PARTEY, he's there. Can we use him in midfield? Now, I'm hearing rumors that PARTEY is going to Barcelona in the summer, and therefore Mikel Arteta is having second thoughts of making him important. Like, let's use him, and if he's gonna leave, because we kept him knowing that his contract was running down, so let us use him If his contract runs down in the summer and he doesn't want to renew, then we replace him, 6 months later. So what is the best lineup that we can put out there against Brentford tomorrow on Wednesday? In goal is David Raya, and I pray that he comes back in the real form that he had at the beginning of this campaign and towards the end of last campaign. I want him there because, a good goalkeeper earns you points. A good goalkeeper gets you points. He could get you up to 15 points in a season. I mean, we've seen David De Gea before for Manchester United, winning them points that put them in very, very vital positions and crucial positions as well. And Sir Alexander Chapman Ferguson and David Moyes and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a good goalkeeper who is in form and producing real good results is such a blessing to have, in my opinion. So David Raya in goal, I don't have big problems with him. And like I said, I think we will see him in goal lots of the time. We signed Neto. It doesn't look like the manager is really interested in playing Neto in any of the games. You can see that in the Carabao Cup, we are playing one of our under 20s goalkeeper, which tells you that, Neto is not in the plans of the manager. At centre back, Timber's done really well at right back. And I think there will be conversations about when Ben White comes back, does Timber shift to the left-hand side and White comes back to right back? Or do we sit White on the bench until maybe need arises? Now, the good thing with Mikel this season is that he has learned his lesson. He's rotating very, very well. We've already seen, I don't think we have had one player that has not been rotated this campaign. We've not had a single player that has played every single game. I mean, either through injury or through natural rotation. And that is very, very good. So Julian Timber at right back, William Saliba and Gabriel at centre back. Last year, 2020. Okay, this year, I mean, we're still in 2024, we're still in 2024. Where am I saying last year? In 2024, they were the best centre back pairing, Saliba and Gabriel. And the thing with them this campaign is they're now also scoring goals. Saliba has already scored 3 goals this season, I think. If I'm not mistaken, 3. And Gabriel has gone on to score about 6 goals in this campaign alone, competition. So that shows you the chemistry they have, the importance they have to Mikel Arteta and the team. I won't be surprised if, once again, our success in 2025 heavily relies on the defense, heavily relies on these 2 guys and how well they can go. At left back, Lewis Kelly has done well. However, Brentford, like I said, are a mixed team. You know what to expect out of Thomas Frank, a guy that, is very, very pragmatic, but also very deadly on the break. I mean, Buemo, Visa, he will use them to, full utilization. So I think Ricardo Calafiori, for me, would be a much better option in this game at left back. So my back four would be Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Ricardo Calafiori. I mean, it's a fair shout out. In midfield, for me, Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. Now, Odegaard is really off form. I am not sure whether Partey is just being protected because we have a series of important games coming up in January, which is like many games, right? I don't know. It's either of the two. Either Mikel Arteta is saying, I've got to move on without Partey, and I've got to start playing my team without Partey. We have seen Kai Havertz predominantly in midfield. I don't like it. I think having Partey and Odegaard in that midfield, it just gives you 2 natural ball progression options. And then with Declan Rice, it gives a guy who can do anything. Win the ball back, progress it, drive, shoot, score. He literally does everything. So for me, that is our best midfield. And that is what I want to see every single match day. Partey, Odegaard, Rice. Whether they are in form or off form, play them, right? Play them. Eventually, it will click. Up front, yeah. Who replaces Saka? Not Gabriel Martinelli for me. It's not Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli had such big trouble, big trouble in our recent Ipswich game. They've dealt with him very well. I mean, first and foremost, you're playing him in a new position, and then second, this is a guy that plays with his head down lots of the time. It's not working. It's not working. So this is my theory. Gabriel Jesus at right wing. Gabriel Jesus moves through away from the middle, and then he plays at the right wing. Or Ethan Nwaneri. Now the thing with Ethan Nwaneri is this: if you play Ethan Nwaneri at right wing, you don't play Trossard at left wing, because then you have two midfielders or you have two passive wingers that are not going to stretch the pitch as much as possible, right? And they are not also interested in beating a player. They're interested in getting the ball in wide areas and then passing it inside, right? So if we play Nwaneri, then Martinelli plays the other side, because you could use Gabriel Martinelli as the guy that stretches the pitch, because he's got the speed and he's really comfortable on the left-hand side. If it's going to be Gabriel Jesus playing on the right, then it's okay. Trossard can play on the left. I think Trossard, his goal-scoring form might be coming back, and he's also created a very, very good goal against Ipswich. I think he's one of the players that are picking up their form. So Trossard has to be in the team. Gabriel Jesus has to be in the team at right wing, and then Kai Havertz down through the middle. Yes, I'm dropping Gabriel Martinelli. I think Martinelli has to work on his game. I think there are things he's got to work on, honestly. Now, what do I expect out of this game, and what should we expect out of this game? Brentford have never been an easy side, but they are beatable. That's the thing. They are beatable. If you're chasing the title, if you're looking to open up an 8-point difference gap between you and Man City, you've got to beat Brentford, you've got to beat Ipswich, you've got to beat Brighton, you've got to beat Bournemouth, you've got to beat all those good teams, right? They're the Fulhams of this world. They're good, but you've got to beat them. So it's not going to be an easy game. Arsenal are struggling to create chances, and Brentford will have kind of a holiday defensively for most of the time. But I was listening to Thomas Frank and his press conference, and he was saying, listen, they are good at set pieces. Arsenal are very good at set pieces. They have the best set piece team in the world, but they're also very good at set pieces, and we're going to be ready for them. So it's going to be, for me, it will be a cringe game, passive game. I expect Brentford to leave the ball to Arsenal. And of course, you know, these days, if Arsenal are in possession, it is slow, it is predictable, it is easy to deal with. So we might see another boring performance from Arsenal and Brentford, but I expect Arsenal to win this one 1-0. I mean, I can't expect much from this team. I really can't expect much from this team. I'm gonna go 1-0, and it's better if it's better than that. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want a 2-0, 3-0 victory? But as long as we don't drop points, as long as we don't drop points, right? See you.